again, Erev Shabbos, Parshas Shelach. And the end of this week's Parsha, if it's not Shelach for you yet, it's still Parsha of Tzitzis. That we say every day a couple times in Shema. The end of Shelach has the Parsha of Tzitzis. Yeah, you have to get past the story of the Meraglim. Usually all the Divrei Torah are scooped up in the beginning. But we talk about the Tzitzis, the whole Parsha of Tzitzis. Tzitzis, Zechet Yis Mitzrayim. And I was just, this week I was Zechet to go to a question and answer session with I go in Rav Victor Nevin Sal Shlita. And one of the questions that the boys asked him was, the whole sugya of Tcheles is controversial, whether we have it or not, whether we don't, whether we should wear it or not, assuming that we do have it. He said the color of blue is the mantizkar. So that we'll remember, there's a zechira in the Tcheles. What's the zechira? Chazal tell us, Rashi says, that the blue reminds us of the sea, which reminds us of the sky, which reminds us of the Kisei HaKavod, which reminds us of the Rebbeinu Shalom. So, I guess Kisei HaKavod is the Rebbeinu Shalom. So this boy asked, maybe I should wear blue strings, even if it's not Tcheles, just blue. The blue will remind me of the beach, or of the water, it'll remind me of the sky. So Rav Nevin Sal told him, if you want to remember the sea, go to the beach. That's what he told him. So, you only wear tcheles if you have tcheles. But it's an interesting question. Like, if the whole point of the tcheles is to remind us of the Kisei HaKavod, then it begs the question we have to ask, how come we just go from the tcheles to the Kisei HaKavod? Right? It doesn't say that. It says that there are steps. It goes from the tcheles to the sea, to the sky, to the Kisei HaKavod. When I go from Tcheles to the Kisei HaKavod, we know that Rome, Esav, they invented the dome building structure, whatever that's called, like to be able to live indoors, and beautiful architecture, and part of that was to be able to black out the sky. Or if you go to Caesarea, it's to black out the sea. That we don't want that reminder, we don't want that connection with the Kisei HaKavod, but why by us can't we go straight to the Kisei HaKavod? Why do we need those steps in between? And the answer is the Yesod in all growth. And the Yesod is you have to take it one step at a time. It's possible. It's possible that someone can go straight from the Tcheles, from blue, we'll think of the Kisei HaKavod. We have to work our way up, one thing at a time, step by step. And that's how we're zeicha to V'asisa Ma'isa. We can actually turn it into asiyah, to turn it into something real, to actualize things in our life. We have to do it step by step. Don't jump too far. Here's the story. There was a boy who was not being matzliach in learning. And it wasn't for a lack of trying. We see that sometimes nowadays also. But this boy really gave it his all. He just didn't have the kalim. It just wasn't going in. He's trying. He had a Rebbe that really connected with him, and he saw the schwitz that this guy was putting into his learning, and how much he really wanted it. And he gave him some personal time and tutored him. At the end of the year, the boy was switching yeshivas. It was the end of his time in yeshiva, and the Rebbe said, "Let's go to Rav Chaim Kanevsky for a bracha. I don't want to leave you, going out into the world by yourself. Bring along a bracha from Rav Chaim." So they went to Rav Chaim and they asked him for a bracha. They should be mitzleach in learning. Rav Chaim said, if you ask any gadol, Stipler used to say this also, you want to be mitzleach in learning, you got to learn, you got to schwitz. The Rebbe attested to Rav Chaim, this boy schwitzes. He's giving him his all. So Rav Chaim thought about it and said he should daven. And the boy Taka was good with davening, but Rav Chaim had he make sure he davens for his Torah with a tzibur. And that was a little bit challenging for the boy, but he was makabel on the spot right there. Rav Chaim said that this is his key to learning. He was makabel to daven with a minyan from then on. Deal. And Taka, for the rest of the year, he was ice, fire. He was there on time. He was on time for davening as early, because otherwise it just doesn't work. You can't expect to rush in from whatever you're doing and immediately have kavanah. But he was fire about it. That summer, after yeshiva was out, he went on a tiyul to Netanya with a couple of friends. They had minyanim over there. It was good. He comes back to Ramot Thursday night, and he chaps. It's 11 o'clock at night. I didn't daven Maariv. Okay, nish gefährlich. And there's always this shtiblach in Yerushalayim. So he goes outside the Chabad bus. The bus isn't coming anymore. Why? So he starts walking. He's got to get to this minyan Zecher Moshe. And on his way, someone picks him up. He gets a hitch. He gets right to Zecher Moshe. He ends up showing up there 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. There's 4 people there waiting for a minyan. They're waiting, half an hour, 45 minutes. No one's coming. They have 5, 6 people. It's not happening. So someone wants to go. And this boy says, no, please don't go. He says, we're not getting a minyan. He says, we're going to get a minyan. I promised Rav Chaim I was going to daven for the minyan. And everyone's machshir. Rav Chaim, if this guy has a neder, I was a neder, but he told Rav Chaim he was going to daven for the minyan. He was going to go daven for the minyan. So they stuck around for him. It was beautiful. And I think 3 o'clock in the morning, they got their minyan from Maariv. Okay, they davened. But now it's, 3:30. So the boy said, well, I'm going to schlep back to Amor. I'll get back there in time for Nate's. I'll just stay here and daven Nate's. So he got a hold of a pair of tefillin, and he davened Nate's. After davening, he went to his local farm store, and he started learning. And he said for the first time in his life, the words were glowing. Just Meir Einov. Just everything went in. Everything clicked. The Torah was dancing off the pages. And he couldn't stop. He stayed learning. He came home and his parents said, you must be zonked. He said, actually not. He just opened up a Gemara and sat and learned. And then whole Friday night he was learning. Shabbos daily, he's taking a nap. Nothing. Motzei Shabbos, he finally crashed. But he woke up the next morning, Sunday morning, and went steiging. He was on fire. He finally had, the door opened. The door that he was trying to break down for years was finally open, and he couldn't stop him. His Rebbe didn't know anything about this. And the next time he saw him, the boy was knocking on his door. A couple of years later. And he says, oh, Shalom Baruch, how are you? He says, great. He says, Rebbe, I have to tell you my Karsha Tov. I know you put in a ton of effort into me, and I bought you a sefer. The Rebbe looks at the sefer, and it's all about, it's lomdish. It's like a very deep sefer. He was impressed that this boy even knew where to find this in his farm store. He opens up the front cover. This boy wrote it. No, you can't get there in one step. You start with little things. What can you do? You could daven, then daven. You could daven with a minyan, daven with a minyan. What are you able to learn? You're able to do Shnai Mikra? Do Shnai Mikra. Do Shnai Mikra with Rashi? Good. If you're able to do Shnai Mikra with Orach Chaim, with the Ramban, then do that. Take those steps one by one, and that's how Be'ez Hashem will all together reach the Kisei HaKavod and connect our neshama in our own specific way to where it's supposed to go, to its ultimate madrigas. Ki Mitziyon teitze soira unvar Hashem Yerushalayim. 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 Good Shabbos.